All right, y'all, what is up and welcome back. So today we got a video of a guy who was on a podcast. I'm not sure what podcast he was on, but he was making some valid points. He was talking about if black women care who black men date, if they're dating outside their race, and why they care. First thing I want to do is I want to bring up this video and then I want to talk about it. So let's go.
Gambino, y'all ain't like me growing up, not never. Then I got a white woman, and because I got money, now it's like you don't like sisters. Y'all ain't never gave me the time of day, and when I tried, it was like I was nerdy, weird, ugly duckling, and nobody wanted nothing to do with me. And now I'm supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my experience, and then I don't. If I shot my shot at you, I might have thought you was, you know what I'm saying? But if y'all don't like me, and we know it happens, because it happened to black little girls, It happened to black boy where you ain't, they don't, you just ain't it. But then now if I go date something else, is, oh, I hate myself. If I do shit, you made me feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all never wanted nothing to do with me. So it's on both sides. But at the end of the day, if I go with where I'm being shown love, what's the issue with that? I mean, it's about me. We should think people go do what they do for them instead of thinking it's about us. No, I went and dated a white woman because I wanted to. Not because of whatever you got going on. Childish Gambino.
All right, and that's pretty much the video. So this man is speaking on the fact that oftentimes, and I've said this numerous times before, oftentimes in our community, even shown in our children, when, of course, when they start dating, let's say middle school, high school, all that stuff, the men and the young boys that are well-spoken, the men and the young boys that take education, family, career, and put that on the pedestal, oftentimes those men will get seen as corny, will get seen as lame, will get seen as we don't want you. And those guys with nothing to lose that are doing the worst in life get put on a pedestal in the community. The criminals, the have-nots, the guys that don't care anything about their family, the guys that have no type of career, no type of future. Oftentimes in this community, in the black community, those guys will get put on a pedestal, right? And it's not so much that the educated, well, family orientated black man has a problem with that. It's the problem whereas when that man goes to date another race of woman, now there's a problem. Now he's seen as somebody who hates himself. Now he's seen as someone who hates his own race only because he chose to date outside his race. Now, I'm a big believer in go where you're wanted. And this is not a one size fits all. I always like to preface this by saying it's not a one size fits all, because you got plenty of black women out there that love smart, educated guys that are into nerdy stuff, techie stuff, anime stuff. You know, we got a lot of geeky black guys out there, and you got some black women that are into those guys. But I'm going to be completely honest with you. When it comes to the masses, when it comes to what's portrayed on TV, what's portrayed on social media, what's portrayed right in our face every time we go to a lounge, a bar, a club, a mall, anything like that, those type of guys are going to be demonized. And when I say demonized, I mean they're going to be seen as less than. They're going to be seen as the ones that they don't want. Just point blank, period. But why is that? Why is that? And not only why is that, why do other races of women love those nerdy black guys? Why do other races of women love those family and career orientated black guys that a lot of the black women just don't want? Why is it? Is it an image thing? Because I've seen this firsthand, y'all. I've seen this firsthand. I went to high school with nerdy black dudes, right? I'm talking about black chicks did not want them at all. I saw this firsthand. And all the little Asian, little Latinas, little white chicks, they was all over them once we graduated. Because guess what? Once we graduated and they went into college and they got into their career, they was the man. And those cool guys, quote unquote, in high school, they was washing his car at the car wash. You see what I'm saying? And then that time is over with. They've already made their decision of, hey, you women are into a certain range of man that I have excelled past. I'm not into that type of of lifestyle anymore. I'm not into that lifestyle where I have to look over my shoulder. I'm not into that lifestyle where I'm wanting for something and I don't have a career. I don't know where my next paycheck is coming from. I'm out here selling drugs or whatever, blah, blah, blah. They're not into that lifestyle. And a lot of times, like I said, in the black community, you're not respected as a man unless you have one of these criminalistic lifestyles, unless you're giving off the bad boy persona. And it's different, okay? Because women in general do love a bad boy persona. I can't lie. And this goes for every community. But the black bad boy persona dwells deeply into criminality, more so than any other race of bad boy. Like, let me just give you an example. Asian women, right? Of course, they like their bad boys in their community, right? But their bad boys aren't criminals. Their bad boys haven't been to prison. Their bad boys just listen to rap music and maybe work at their uncle's shop or something like that and ride a motorcycle at the most, okay? We're not talking about going to prison. We're not talking about catching charges. We're not talking about a career in drug dealing. We're not talking about that. Okay, let's move to the white community. Even some of those bad boys, yeah, they may dwell a little bit in criminality, but they don't take it as extreme as making it their entire identity. Y'all gotta realize we have a whole culture that glorifies killing each other. I'm gonna be honest with you. Listen to any popular rap song right now. Listen to any popular rap song right now that's not featured by Drake or Kendrick Lamar or some huge major artist. Listen to any underground rap song right now and tell me it doesn't talk about the most degenerate things in our society and glorify it. Now, I want you to take that same energy and go to every single race of person on this planet and listen to their music and tell me what they glorify. Love, sex, love again, dancing. Like it's so different. The contrast, because I've been in these communities. I've been to these clubs. I've been to these lounges and bars. Look, a lot of places in Atlanta are very multiracial. Okay. So I get to hang around a lot of different races of people at once. And I can tell you there is a huge contrast in the culture, a huge contrast in what they accept and what they don't accept. All right. And you got these women that love these quote unquote bad boys that don't make their life any better. And the worst thing that a man wants to see, okay, especially a black man, is to have a woman that he was after, let's say when they were younger, that she let nothing but bad boys have her all up until the point where she's in her late 20s, early 30s, and so on and so forth. And now after she's experienced those bad boys, and I'm gonna use the word experience because I don't want to be disrespectful, but now that she's experienced those bad boys, now she wants to get with the career orientated man and you know, have the career orientated man and the God-fearing man and the educated man, the well-spoken man. Now she wants to come to him and have him raise the kids that she had with the bad boys. No, not at all. That's not what's going to happen. Okay. You can ask any of these guys. They hate that notion. And before they do that, a lot of them will simply just bow out and date outside their race. Now we know from research, your own race is generally the first pick. Your own race is generally the first pick. So instead of criticizing these guys and calling them self-haters and stuff like that, you have to look within and ask yourself, what would make these men, which black women would obviously be their first pick, obviously, right? What would make them purposefully want to date outside their race and cut off any type of dating possibilities with black women? Of course, it is what they have been shown. It is what they have been shown. It is pattern recognition. It is them being fed up with the way they're being treated just because they're elevated. And that's crazy. It's crazy to be treated worse because you're elevated. And I don't see this happen to women often. You know, let's just take like a woman who's a really nerdy, smart bookworm. I don't know, whatever. If she's beautiful, she's beautiful. She's going to get that attention from all types of guys. But if you take a guy and put him in that same position, he's not going to get the same treatment from women because it is the persona that a lot of women are after. It is the quote unquote swag, right? It's the swag that most women are after. If you ask a woman what do they want, they want, I think the last woman I heard this say was like 30% bad boy, 70% responsible adult or something like that. But they want a little bit of that bad boy mixed in there. But they don't want that to be your entire identity. But when you go over to our community, when you go over to the black community, they want 100% bad boy. That 100% bad boy is what they're after. All right. And you get called lame if you have a full-time job. I've seen women call guys lame that work 40 hours a week. Look at B. Simone. And look where she's at right now. What does she say? Oh, I don't want no guy that work no 9 to 5. I want a boss. I don't care what you do, but you got to be a boss. Like, that's crazy. And look at her now, crying because she can't shop at Bloomingdale's and she got to shop at H&M. Now, isn't that crazy? And what is she teaching the young women that watch her? To do the same exact thing. There's no shame in having a career. There's no shame in being well-spoken. There is no shame in caring about yourself as a black man. And we have to promote this in our community. We have to stop promoting degeneracy the same way the Asians don't promote degeneracy, the same way the Hispanics, the whites, the Arabs, they do not promote degeneracy. Those people are seen as outcasts within the community, okay? Everybody says, don't be like them. Don't be a quote unquote loser. But in our community, we uplift it. We say, hey, this person don't got a job. They sell drugs. They do this. They walk around with their pants sagging. That's the GOAT right there. That's how we treat our degenerates in our community, y'all. And this is exactly why the state of dating is what it is. You don't hear any other community talking about 50-50. Why is 50-50 even an argument in our community? Isn't that embarrassing? That's embarrassing, man. That's embarrassing. But yeah, I mean, if you watch my videos, you know. I'm super big on this. I say this 1,000 times. Stop promoting degeneracy. Teach your daughters to love educated, well-spoken men. Teach your sons to be educated, well-spoken men that value career. If you want to be an entrepreneur, be an entrepreneur. But know that there are levels to this. And you're not just going to graduate high school and become some billionaire. That's not how it works. You need to earn your stripes. And if that means starting a career and learning from working in someone else's business, that's what you need to do. But one thing we should never do as black men is be afraid to have a career, be ashamed to have a career, be ashamed to be well-spoken, be ashamed to be educated, and be ashamed to carry ourselves like we're worth something. All right. I've seen way too many times smart brothers. I had a good friend in high school. He used to do this all the time. Good friend. He was smart as hell. I mean, smarter than me. I used to cheat off his tests. That's how smart he was. And I was smart in school. So that's how I know he was smart as hell. But he used to dumb himself down all the time and act like he didn't have any sense just so he could get chicks because he knew that's what caught their attention. And of course, it was just our women. It wasn't any other women in any other communities. It was just our women, which he had to act a fool with so he could catch their attention because being smart wasn't enough. Getting good grades wasn't enough. Being responsible wasn't enough. This is what I'm saying. It needs to start being enough. All right. If y'all want black men and black women to come back together and are successful black men, the ones that are millionaires, you want them to stop dating interracially, you want them to come back to the black community, make degeneracy bad. Bring back shame. All right. Make being smart cool again, like it is in every single other community around us. That is the answer. All right. But as always, I want to know what y'all think about this. Very sensitive topic, of course, but I want to know what y'all think about this because I know we got some opinions on this. But anyway, if you like what you see, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.